But we pretend that didn't happen. We pretend that didn't happen. That against the blue, I think sort of, it's quite classy, no? Oh, hey everyone. I thought I would give you a quick run around of what we have done and then overlay the time lapses and little clips from the last week or so, because we have made some pretty good progress. I don't know if you'll be able to see over my shoulder, but we have painted the living room. It's not completely finished, so I probably will do a few touch-ups today. And then, yeah, we can start styling it, which is exciting. Let's get started over there. So the kitchen, oh, we did rearrange the kitchen. So, I mean, the dining room. So it's still very stark in here. I still am looking for the perfect dresser that I can paint green to put in there. I'll put up a picture now of what the inspo pick is. But this actually came from Miles' office. Our record player has been in his office for a long time, so we've finally got that back, which is lovely. I don't like this cabinet setup, but that's fine, we'll deal with that. This lamp is a very old IKEA lamp, which I love. I think it's super duper fun and fits in that little corner perfectly. I'd love to paint this door as well, which won't take very long actually. Now I've painted the old woodwork in the other room, it's not too bad to do it, so I might do that soon. Let's turn that back off. Otherwise I think, oh yeah, we moved this. This was over there before, but we put it here and it actually fits. Something we were really worried about when we rearranged this house was over there is the old kitchen and it's very narrow, so I can't remember how wide this is, but to be able to fit a proper table with chairs around it, you actually need like an extra sort of 50 centimetres technically to be able to make this work. But look at all that room. There's plenty of room to get in here and sit down, and there's still room to walk by over here. So yeah, if anyone's worried about a dining room not being wide enough, don't. I mapped this out and we did get a table that's 850 wide rather than 900. 900 is quite standard for a big family dining table, but still 850 is still pretty wide. Like tables in a restaurant tend to be 700, which would be like here, which is very narrow. So yeah, that worked out quite well. What else have we got going on? So in here, let's get the light on. It's still dark in this room. So here is our blue living room. Excuse the mess, I'm about to tidy it all up, but absolutely stunning. We painted the ceiling. I did patch, you probably can't even see it. I patched the holes again yesterday and we need to still paint around the lights and then put the lights back on because the balls are currently sat in here. But I'm pleased with it. We're a little bit not 100% on the blue, which is kind of annoying considering Miles was very sure on the blue. But I think once we've got some art on the walls, some lights up, which actually I'll show you. We've got the lights in here. One second. We have our light here from M&S. Let's put the box on the floor. And it isn't colourful. So if you can see that, it's kind of like a mousy brown shade. And then the ball goes in the middle. And I actually think it looks quite cool up here. So it'll be two of them. You see? That against the blue, I think sort of, it's quite classy, no? I can't really show you this, but it will look like that. Let us know in the comments if you think that's right. We actually did originally buy these for the upstairs hallway, because I don't know if I've shown you. Let me take you up there. I'll take you up there in a second, because I just wanted to finish off in here. So I can't remember what we have actually discussed on YouTube, but this is the tile that we are gonna go for, and I think it does look really nice against here. Look at our little dog. This is for when kids come over and they absolutely love it. But yes, this I think looks nice. We have actually spoken to a handyman to help us with this because I want all the corners mitered, and although I think I can do it, the question is how much of my headspace is it worth for the money way up, you know? There's other things I could be doing to make money instead of doing that. Oh yeah, also this is the woodwork colour. So it is Camber by Coat Paint. It's got all those lights. And you can see that I haven't finished painting over there. I only got some of it done the other day, but I think it looks nice. We were a bit worried about the fact that these doors will obviously be the woodwork colour in here, which is also Camber, but they normally live as you saw, open like this. So now both sides will be that colour. Still need to paint the door, but yeah, I think it's looking quite nice. We're still working out, getting a big bit of art there. Got a new chest of drawers, which I'll show you in a bit, to put there, which eventually probably will be in our bedroom, but for now it's here. Oh yeah, look at these. I got these off of Vinted. They are candlestick holders. Did you guys know that you can get homeware on Vinted? I know it sounds like an ad, but it's not. I just didn't realise that you could do that. And I got these, and then I also got some really cute egg cups. And don't come at me saying, do you eat dippy eggs? Because I don't. But maybe that's because I didn't have good egg cups, right? I might have some for lunch, actually. But yeah, look, I got 4 of these little guys. And I really like them. I think they're very cute. They are brand new, and I think like £8 for 4. So that's pretty good, isn't it? I don't know. Worth a look for sure if you're looking for bits and bobs, because the algorithm on there is really good. Like as soon as you start searching for anything, it then throws back quite amazing things. All right, I wanted to show you upstairs so that I can give you a little update. I always get so out of breath vlogging. I think I just don't stop talking. So let's get these lights on. So can you see how bad this plaster work is? I think you can see it better over here. I might have shown this on here already, but you can see like how bulbous that is. So these sort of lights where they shine fully onto the wall just aren't really good enough. Oh, let me catch my breath. Oh. So those ones that we got from M&S were actually originally for up here. So what do you reckon? Better on the blue downstairs, or on, this will probably be some sort of off-white up here. I think I know what I'm leaning for, but let us know in the comments, because your opinions are always very valuable. And right, in here, this is our bedroom. So we are going for blue in here as well. As we spoke about downstairs, I really love this Lick Blue 04, which is what we're going to go for up here, because it's a little bit darker and this room is higher up, so therefore we get more light. And also I'm more willing for it to be a bit cozier in here. Downstairs, that was what we were battling with. We couldn't have it too dark, and even now with the blue compared to the like mist-coated white is so much darker. We'll see how long it lasts. I think bright artwork and more lamps is the way to go, right? But in here, we are going to use the spray gun. So Miles mist-coated this whole room, which is an enormous room, ceiling and all, in 2 hours, which, if anyone knows, that is pretty quick. And we are hopeful that when we come to spray the paint, which hopefully will be this week, so in next week's vlog, I should be able to show you that. It should only take 2 hours as well. The only thing is that we will be doing this woodwork and stuff, so we'll see how that goes. Need to tape it all up. The problem with these sprayers is that you do need to do loads of prep, and in here we already had quite a lot of it wrapped up, and it was all going one colour, and the floor didn't need covering, blah blah blah. So that's why we didn't spray downstairs. We used rollers and paintbrushes, which while we were doing it, and it took us an entire, well, it took us a few days actually, because we obviously need to do a couple coats, we were cursing ourselves, but I think it was worth it, because otherwise we would have had to cover the entire floor, all of the fixtures and fittings. There was just a lot to cover. So we're happy with it. And the sprayer works well for mist coat. We'll report back on whether it works well for paint. Who knows? We did get some more samples as well for the floor. No, downstairs. So in here, it's a bit dark, but we're going to do checkerboard floor. And I've been looking for some that aren't just black and white. And I got some from Mandarin Stone. This is the chest of drawers, by the way. Oh, too heavy, 1 second. I can't lie, I absolutely love the darker one, which is called Fitz Claret Honed Marble. And this is the actual size it will be, which maybe is a bit small, not sure, because it's quite a big hallway. But then, oh, this is so heavy. But then the white is incredibly bright, which I don't want. So I'm on the lookout for something to go with this sort of purple tile, but in a more creamy finish rather than bright white, because this is a bit too stark for me. Look brilliant in quite a modern house, but I just don't think it would look good here. Let me show you in the hallway. So noisy on the floor. And obviously the floor's grey because it's concrete right now, but I just think that's too bright. This whole room is a bit big, white and crazy, and I think I want it to be more beigey coloured. Also, I think this will get really dirty, and I don't know, it just doesn't look quite right. What do you think though? Am I being silly? Because there isn't really a good option on mandarin stone for the other colour that I can find. I did see, what's her name? Is her name Rhiannon? From the Bailey edit. It's Tom Trotter's fiance, wife. She did this in her hallway, and I don't know what colour she used for the other one. I couldn't find it. So maybe they're just not for sale anymore. I don't know. But anyway, I am going to tidy up the kitchen because I need to take some photos of said kitchen for AEG, because as some of you guys know, they gave us our appliances, which is mind-blowing. So to do that, I need to give them some content. We put a video out last week, or well, yesterday actually it came out. And typically I posted it and realised that I did the voiceover when I had a stinking cold and I sound really bunged up, but Miles assured me that only I can hear it. I don't know, I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll put these back. Oh, such a horrible feeling trying to pick these up off the floor. Ugh. The thing that's been taking me so long is sorting out the snug, which is where all of my tools are. So as some of you know, I've been desperate to get a workbench for months. Ever since I started doing the woodwork, I've wanted a workbench because the little ones are too wiggly when you're trying to use a saw, and I had nothing to clamp onto, and I was cutting things on the floor and it all was just getting a little bit sketchy. I just really didn't like it. So I actually realised that I don't need a workbench, I just need a heavy table. So I saw this sort of beaten up old pine table just around the corner from us for like 60 quid that the legs came off of, because that was a really important point. I couldn't get these workbenches home, so I needed someone to be able to deliver them, which is just really difficult. And we have it now in the snug. And the other thing, so I got that, started trying to use it, all fine. And then it was just before we got it, I was cutting a corner on the pillar in here, and most of the walls in this house aren't 90 degrees, but those ones are. And I was still struggling to get the external angle on the skirting boards right. And I realised it's probably because the saw is just not very accurate. Very kind of Dot to gift me this saw. She got a new one, so it's her hand-me-down. But I had a little Google to see what to do. I'm sure part of it is that the blade was blunt, to be fair, but apparently the DeWalt ones are the most accurate. So I went onto Marketplace, because that's my favourite place ever, and I found a new saw for £90. And we were actually picking up a new car, different story, from Portsmouth, and they were there. So we picked up the saw, and then I also needed a transformer, which I didn't know what it was, but basically some power tools they have a different voltage to a plug on the wall. So you need to have this box that you plug it into to change the power. He had one of those to give away as well. And then he also had an angle grinder. So for I think £120, we got all three of those things. And the saw is brilliant, although I then got it onto my table, I put it down, I was like, yay, and then realised it didn't have any clamps with it. And I was like, shit. I did use it, and it's very accurate, like bloody amazing, like immediately 45 degrees exactly with my like measurer thingy, angle measurer. If you look at that, it's exactly 45. I mean, I'm not really showing you that very well, hang on. There you go, look. So that is me setting it at this line with that one in there. 90-90, perfect. So that is way more accurate. The only problem is I haven't got any clamps, and I'm too scared to do this with that one. I thought maybe the one off of this saw would work, but it doesn't. So I'm gonna go online and try and order some, because it makes such a huge difference to hold it all down. Like even when I cut this one, it sort of lifted a little bit. It still cut it at 45 degrees, but when you're doing skirting boards, it really matters that it is stuck down and solid to the side. But it wobbles around. So I go onto Google, I try and find one, because I did this for Dot's saw, I bought one of the clamps. Turns out this saw is discontinued by complete fluke. It's like the 707 DeWalt something or another, and it's a professional saw that they've discontinued. And ChatGPT, my best friend, told me that it's just probably going to be impossible to find one. So why not make a sacrificial fence instead? So I have now made a sacrificial fence. I can't say it's the best piece of joinery I've ever done. And I haven't actually done any skirting boards yet because we've been decorating that room instead. So maybe later today or tomorrow I'll give that a go, and I will update you guys next week on whether it worked or not. I will show you a few clips of what a sacrificial fence is, but basically it's a piece of wood, or two pieces of wood like this, and then you connect it to the saw, and then I've got this thing called a toggle clamp. I can't remember, I'll put the word up of what it's actually called, that you can then push down, and then it means that the wood won't bob out, basically, because health and safety Meg here needs her clamps. I might remake it because I actually made it slightly wrong. I meant to make the back piece the same height as the back of the saw, and I didn't, and that's partly why I haven't done any more skirting boards as well, because I need to like cut a bit out, because when you try and angle the saw, the fence gets in the way. Anyway, it is what it is. So hopefully that'll make my life a lot easier though, because we've got a big table. I can use the old workbench to hold up the end of the skirting boards that are too long. Otherwise it's there, and yeah. But anyway, I'm going to finish tidying this up. I need to pick up something from the post office, so I might wander out and go get some flowers just to tart this up a little bit for the photos. Something that I do want to do, and I got reminded as I was cleaning behind here, is we need some sort of tile or splashback back here. And there's a girl I follow, what's her name? It's something 69, I think, or House 9? I can't remember what her name is, but she has, and we won't do this just for some reference, but she has pink and red checkered tiles, but they are on the edge, and then they have the like teeth at the top. I'll put it in a picture to explain, but I really like the look of that. I think it could be quite fun, and everyone's saying that our yellow kitchen is a bold choice, but I think it could handle a bit more bold. I'm wondering whether maybe, I'm looking behind the camera now at the green doors, whether we do something green or something more neutral, but with like a pattern or a texture or something. I think it can't be white because the wall's white. It needs to be a bit more contrasting than that. But it needs to go with the worktop, it needs to go with the yellow, it needs to go with the blue. But I don't know, if anyone's got any inspo or accounts that have done fun splashbacks, I would be all ears to hear it. I haven't actually looked on Pinterest or anything yet. And it's not a high priority, but it is annoying to have to keep wiping the wall off every time we wash anything up. All right, I'm gonna go and get some flowers and pick up my parcel from the post office now, get out into the real world a little bit, go on a little walk. So yeah, I'll see you in a minute. I just got back with my bits and bobs and I forgot to buy flowers, which was kind of the whole point of going out. But I've got dinner for tonight and I've got a post office thing. But do I go back out? Or do I even really need them? No, I'm not going to do it because it's just procrastinating. But something I did want to show you is up there. I don't know if you can see it. Hello. I've got a little cork. And I bought some more over. So these corks are celebrations from when we've had bubbly. And we basically write on it. So this one's got M&M when we got engaged in November 2024. And this one is for Ask the Boss when we shot the first season. But I want to find a way to make sure they don't fall off. And we were kindly sent, don't know where on earth it is actually, a glue gun. And I thought that would be a good way to stick them up there. Oof, look at the state of this. Oh, why am I like this? This always happens in every room I step foot in. It's so annoying. I don't even know if it's in here, to be honest. Maybe down here. We had a tidy up because we had someone with a 2-year-old come round. So lots of things have gone walkies. Absolutely ridiculous. It was obviously in the first place that I looked, right in front of me. This is the glue gun and I thought I'd give it a go. See if it works for this job. I had a glue gun when I was younger at uni that was pink and somehow I misplaced it. So I'm gonna use this now and see if I've still got the knack. As everything is in this house, it is very dusty. Oh, it only has to be in here for 5 seconds and it gets dusty. Okay. So the good thing about this is it's cordless, which is exciting. I think the battery's got power in it. Yeah, look at that, electrical. It says 74% on there. I quite like that. What else have we got? Okay, there's the charger wire. Does this charge with this? That feels interesting. I've never seen that before. Normally, electronic chargers, yeah. Oh gosh. It's using a USB-C? I think that's what that's called. Can never remember. But that's interesting. So I don't need to worry about this because I've got loads of these hanging around. From what I can remember, it takes quite a long time for them to heat up, but we'll see. Mine was like a £5 one from Hobbycraft. So this is definitely an upgrade. Is that it? Put that in there. Shove you on. Maybe if I read the instructions. It says 100 seconds. Once it turns to solid green, that's when we can use it. Right, in the meantime, I did buy some push pins, which was my plan, was to glue the push pin onto this and then we can stab it into the architrave. Winging it, eh? I've been filming for ages and I can't find the push pins. I need them push pins. Haven't got Scooby, gonna call Miles. Found them. My plan is to put that into the wood up there and glue it onto this, which hopefully will be quite easy. So I'm gonna go dollop. That might be too much actually. And hopefully, oh, it got it all hot. Hopefully that doesn't come off. All right, I'll leave those to dry and then we'll see if it worked. I'm cooking my dippy eggs. Let's see if this works. Oh, yeah. It worked. That is not going anywhere. Yes. Oh, I love these so much. Oh, the glue came off of that one. And off of that one. Oh no. That's annoying. Maybe we did need to use more glue. That's all right though, because I have my trusty guy. Okay. Blob. Gonna use more this time. Ink. Let's leave those to dry. Turn you off. So excited to use these. So cute. Oh my God. All right, moment of truth. I hope that they're good. Oh, I think it couldn't have been better. We go again, lads. I'm gonna go all the way up and try and put it down straight. Okay, that's 2. We did it. Something I have just thought while I'm up here is that these will probably fall off again when I try and pull them out. But what I could do is glue some magnets to the bottom of the corks, which means we can take them off. Basically, the reason that I want to be able to take these off is so we can clean up there. And also, I didn't want them just resting up there because when we have loads of these, they'll be so annoying if they all fall down, right? So I'll see how these hold up when I next want to take them down. If they all fall apart and they're rubbish, I'll get some magnets, glue gun them to the pin, and then glue gun the magnet to, I could even glue the magnet up here and put the pin inside the cork. Who knows? But Oh, I don't know why I'm still on the stool. But this is great. I really like that it's wireless. Because the one I had was like on a wire about this long before, and my glue gun was genuinely like this big. So it was good, but it ran out really quickly. Like I've barely used any of this glue, even though I wasted a lot of it while I was trying to look for the pins. So yeah, highly recommend. Just for some transparency, they did gift me this. Genuinely really like it, and I'm very happy to have a proper glue gun again. I did have a question for you all though. Let me get it tacked down. So in here, we put up our curtain rail, as some of you guys saw before Christmas, which was always a temporary fix. But now that the wall is blue, I think it is the ugliest thing in the world. So a big problem that we had with this is that we are originally going to have all of the curtains over there. So they would never be over here, they'd go all the way over there, which is fine because there is a bit of wall there, but there isn't a wall here, and I was worried about blocking this. But we realised the other day, and I mean there's 5 curtains on here, so it's odd numbers, but I won't push it all the way to the end because they fall off. But it doesn't actually, if you can see that right at the end there, but if you got one of those ties, it isn't actually hiding too much window when they're open. We obviously have so much window. So this opens up some new possibilities, because if you're going to put them all to one side, you could only have a track. But now, if we're going to split them in the middle, we can have a pole. But I have looked up how much a pole would cost. It came out at about £1,000. And I mean, that was just one company. So my question for you all is, has anyone done this where they've got a bespoke pole made? And could I go to like a Metalworks or something? In my old job where I used to do furniture sourcing, I guess, we had a metal worker who would make this sort of stuff for us, but I feel like it would need to be made out of aluminium or something fairly light because it's such a massive pole. But it could be made in 2 pieces, and then it could have a bracket in the middle and then a bracket at either end, and then that would be plenty of room, and I just think it would look way nicer. My original plan was to build a pelmet that I would paint the same colour as the wall, which is still a possibility, but obviously that's quite a lot of work, and I feel like the wood required would still cost a lot of money. So do let me know if you've ever done this before. Our bay is obviously a bit weird. I haven't ever really seen many people with such a long, wide bay. This is like 4 meters long and curved, obviously, so a bit annoying. But yeah, let me know. Maybe I can get it from a DIY shop if I bought 2 of them, because I know you can get the bendy poles. The curve is not very deep. It's quite a shallow curve, so maybe I could get a pole there and bend it slightly and a pole there and bend it slightly. But would that look a bit naff? I don't know, but this solution is annoying me, so I need to fix that. I also need to paint these frames. I'm going to paint them the same colour as the skirting boards, which you can't see any. Those. I also need to finish this bit of skirting board and that bit of skirting board, but we pretend that didn't happen. We pretend that didn't happen. I think I'm going to love you and leave you there. So thank you very much for watching if you got this far. And if you did, then please like, comment, subscribe, and do make sure to hype if you can, because I think it makes a huge difference. And thank you to everyone who has done that so far. But anyway, see you later. Bye.